I wanted to play the years before, but it just didn't fit in my schedule, especially since I was just finishing high school, and I played some tournaments, but most of all I stayed in school. So now I have the time, I have the opportunity, and I'm here. It's great. We always do everything together, and that's how we wanted it. We wanted to play on the team together, and then it could feel more like a team. In my opinion, I think education is more important than sports. I myself enjoy learning, and I have to continue my education when I'm out of school, because if I'm not learning something, I feel like I'm wasting time. I should be productive in some way. Yes, Serena and I are both going in the fall. We're going to fashion school for a quarter and a quarter and a quarter. So after a little while, we'll have our degree and we'll play professional sports. It'll be pretty exciting. Quite a while, especially if we have more time. We have a whole day, then it takes longer. But if we have to rush, then we do our best. But it takes a long time. But it's convenient because you don't have to do it for another 6 weeks or so. I definitely think we motivate each other. Like, I'll see Serena doing something, I'll be like, Serena, wow, that's great. Why didn't I think of it? And then I'll continue in the same manner that she's continued in, and I'll acquire the greatness that she has. So it's that way that we help each other out. It's great. I would say that she's just impatient. She wants things right here, right now, right away. So I would just say that sometimes can be a weakness. But I would say Serena's a really strong player all around. Just that impatience gets to her sometimes. I think that Serena and I were growing up, and we'll get there sooner or later. But at this point in time, it's most important to concentrate on developing our games and to have fun. Because if you aren't enjoying what you're doing, then it's going to be tough to do your best at it. So we aren't worrying too much about getting at the top and being so much better than others. We want to be our best for ourselves and have fun. Oh, it was great. Actually, I was sick during the Lipton for all the way up until the semifinals, because I would be playing my matches. Usually, if you're out of shape and you can't breathe and you're breathing loud, then you don't let people hear. But I was so sick, I couldn't breathe. I didn't care who heard. And I would have to choose which shots I ran for, and it was just ridiculous. But finally, by the time Saturday came around, the last Saturday, I wasn't sick anymore. But it was hard. But it was a good experience still. I had a lot of fun in Miami that time. Serena and I, we had a good time. And actually before the finals, the day before, we were just practicing, and we didn't practice very hard. And usually, you have some overheads. I took one overhead and I said, that's enough, let's go. So it was fun. And after that, we just played video games, went to the mall. We didn't practice that much the day before the final. It's a good thing. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's good for me. I think that after Serena and I, after my parents say, hey, we have to move on with our lives, we'll just do our coaching for ourselves. I don't think we really need a full-time coach. I think that by this time, we have to know the game a little bit. I guess so. I think that most of all, it's just our beliefs. Serena and I, my whole family are Jehovah's Witnesses. And I think that's the main thing that keeps us grounded and keeps everything in focus and in balance. That's not going that well. It's going great, but it's just a lot of work. So right now we actually need to publish the August issue. So it's a little bit tough to keep up with the work, because it's a lot. You have to write the articles, especially if you get an interview. It's one thing to get an interview, but it's actually to digest it in an article and make it an article. It's easy to question answer. I love doing question answer. But once you make it to an article, sometimes that's tough, especially if you don't have an idea of what you want the article to be like before you do the interview. So we've learned some things, and all the editing and putting the colors in. It's work, but it's what we want because we feel productive. The first maybe was Pat Cash. Yeah, I was like real young, 7. And then after that, it was Sabatini, and then Boris Becker. And then after that, I really didn't have any favorite players. I think most of all to learn something out of the whole experience and take something out of it, because if I'm here for a week and I don't learn anything, that's not going to be any good. So I think most of all is to play well for the team, and to learn something. Oh, most definitely. She's really experienced. She knows quite a lot about the game. And sometimes, like, my parents can explain something to me in a certain way, but maybe someone else can say it a little differently and you can understand. All that matters is that you get ahead, and that it helps. So it's been nice working with Billie. I've done well. I started off terribly and then started the Lipton all the way up until about the French. I did pretty good. I guess I got 4 titles in between that time. That was okay. And last French and Wimbledon are my last 2 tournaments. I would have definitely wanted to do better, but I can only go forward. I can only go up. I think the best thing is that I've worked real hard to be where I am, and I think the best part is like seeing your results go up. Okay, first I started number 20, okay, 16, yes, number 14, now I'm in the top 10, okay. And the worst part would definitely have to be losing. It's not a pleasurable experience, to say the least.